Hello, I'm Isabella Galan. An Atlantic City man was charged with attempted murder in the shooting of a man from Pleasantville. Police stopped and arrested Marlon Chillis on the Atlantic City Parkway. The victim, 31-year-old Andrew Miller, was taken to an area hospital for treatment. A 77-year-old Union County woman has filed a lawsuit against a Meineke repair shop. The lawsuit claims an automotive worker backed over her with another customer's vehicle while she was waiting for her car. A ceremony was held for the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Wayne. The wall includes 83 Passaic County natives with a length of 368 feet. The memorial is the second biggest in the nation behind the memorial in Washington, D.C. Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver was honored with the memorial at the Essex County Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Justice Building. Oliver is the first African American elected to a statewide office in New Jersey. She passed away back in August.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Mike Favetta. Thanks for joining us here on the New Jersey Morning Show. We have a lot of weather moving across New Jersey. These are the showers and storms that are crossing eastward across New Jersey this morning, cooling us down over the next few days. So we start in the 60s and 70s, but look what's headed our way. Some drier and slightly cooler weather across the Midwest. These are the temperatures, the 50s and 60s that we'll have, likely arriving by Memorial Day on Monday. But we get some fair weather around before the rain settles in. So we have some lightning that is working its way across Sussex County, even through Bergen County. Another round of showers and storms entering currently the western portion of the state, right there by Hunterdon County. These will be arriving in the next hour or so, giving us a wet and stormy start to some places across New Jersey. So you see all these little crosses and arrows here. These are all the live lightning strikes that are occurring across New Jersey right now. Headed down towards central and southern New Jersey, Ocean County, Monmouth County. You see that line of showers and storms and all these embedded lightning strikes here showing up across portions of Brick Township, moving into Toms River, down toward Berkeley. All of these showers and storms will likely keep going until about 10, 11 o'clock before we see them dissipate, and then we get a little bit of sunshine later on this afternoon. So these will give us some poor visibility on the roads, even some reduced visibility throughout the rest of the day, but increase the humidity as we're sitting right now in the low 70s. As some of that rain takes over, it'll likely make it feel quite humid heading into this afternoon. So county by county, it stays rather wet for the first part of today. Good news is it dries out with sunshine by this afternoon, and with that clearing later today, we get a decent amount of sun both days on Saturday and Sunday. So again, that radar showing those storms right now moving there across Ocean and Monmouth County, and even the clouds taking over as well. We've got more details on what to expect here across New Jersey. Stick around. The New Jersey Morning Show begins right now.
Hello and welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Dina Delisa Gonzer in for Cara Falco.
And I'm Mike Favetta. Thanks for joining us. Dina, so great to see you kicking off the Memorial Day holiday weekend.
Oh,
Excited?
I am here.
Got some great weather?
Here for the summer sun for sure. And I see that this weekend there is going to be some sun. Am I right?
There's some sun on Saturday and Sunday, but I think Monday is looking a bit wet. So we'll get to the forecast in just a little bit. You saw a sneak peek of it there. But we've got some news updates for you. A driver was killed after his car ran off the road in Mercer County. The 21-year-old man from Pennington hit a tree off Route 518 in Hopewell. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
Shore Regional High School's online portal was hacked, compromising the private information of thousands of people. Social security numbers and financial information were breached. About 600 students are enrolled at the high school, which is located in West Long Branch.
A Bergen County man was charged in an attempted robbery that took place back in March. The 23-year-old from Clifton allegedly confronted the victim outside his apartment in Allendale and forced him back inside at gunpoint.
A Perth Amboy High School teacher who had his teaching licenses revoked for allowing his students to play Truth or Dare has lost his appeal. Vincent Sakina held several teaching certificates, including one for special needs students.
Members of the Hackensack Fire Department took part in Hackensack High School's Wellness Fair. Firefighters promoted health and safety awareness and offered tips on fire prevention and emergency preparedness. And our top story leads to Dina. Governor Murphy signed a new policy that allows people to receive birth control without a prescription this week. Murphy referred to the new law as an important step forward in our efforts to expand access to reproductive health care.
But this new policy does not say where women can purchase their birth control. The Murphy administration did not release a list of participating pharmacies, and only 5 pharmacists throughout the state declared that they have the proper training to enact the policy. The Division of Consumer Affairs will keep New Jerseyans in the loop, providing a list of pharmacy locations when they are available.
New Jersey is now one of 29 states that allow pharmacists to provide contraceptives without a prescription as determined by the Guttmacher Institute. So this is something that we've heard a lot about in the news, especially nationally, with a lot of states enacting a ban in their states. So I think this is something that will gain a lot more traction, and we're going to hear a lot more about this in the coming months, especially in a presidential election year.
For sure. I'm sure this is not the last we're going to be reporting on it. So coming up, find out how the process of becoming a teacher is changing.
And later, join us to see how teens are getting involved in jazz. Stick around. We'll be right back.
New Jersey, we've got more summer wows under the sun than anyone. So come see what your wow's gonna be in the little state of New Jersey, where it's one wow after another, after another, after another. You get it. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lotta.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. New Jersey ranked in the top 10 in the best states for education. According to U.S. News, New Jersey takes the 4th spot on the list.
The study looked at education standards in each state and analyzed 10 different aspects of learning for both pre-K to 12th grade as well as higher education. The state's pre-K to 12 education program ranked 2nd out of all 50 states, and higher education ranked 35th.
In terms of state testing, New Jersey ranked #1 in scores for the reading portion of the National Assessment of Educational Progress and #7 in math scores. And New Jersey takes the 6th spot on the list for 4-year college graduation rate. What great news. I love to see it, especially I used to actually be a school counselor. So a little fun fact there. So this is really, really great news, especially with the reading portion.
Absolutely, and you have, a school-age child, so
Yes.
having kids, in that age range is always encouraging.
For sure. But I'm not sure if I could help with the math scores. I think I'd be one like driving the score down.
Well, the 45th Annual Telly Awards announced its winners this week. The winners were selected out of a pool of almost 12,000 people. And amongst these lucky viewers was the New Jersey Morning Show.
Woo! Congratulations, guys. We took home the bronze in the news and news feature television category for our video, Tommy DeVito Mania Continues, from December 20th to 2023.
Yeah, Dina, this segment couldn't be any more New Jersey. The piece highlighted the soaring popularity of the New York Giants quarterback. It also featured Snooki, Danielle Cabral of New Jersey Housewives, and it was shot in East Hanover, the 7th most Italian town in the entire country.
I love it. Let's take a trip down memory lane and check it out.
Tommy DeVito Mania hit the Hobby Hive in East Hanover. We caught up with the New York Giants quarterback and some of his biggest fans. We're with the man dominating New Jersey right now, Tommy DeVito. Tommy, how much fun are you having?
A lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to see all the kids out here and bring smiles on their faces.
You met who tonight?
Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy Cutlets. And how cool was he?
Very cool. Let's go Giants.
No one is more famous than you in New Jersey. What advice would you have to give him? Well, okay, Snooki and Frank Sinatra, no. What advice would you give to Tommy on how to deal with it all?
Well, I feel like he knows what he's doing. I feel like he's good. Just enjoy the ride, have fun. In football, this is a different kind of famous. I'm famous for being a reality star. It's different than an NFL player, making moves.
So the Hobby Hive has been open in East Hanover for how long?
Less than a month.
And this is your debut event.
That's right. A little grand opening here with Tommy DeVito. He had an event fall through, and we talked to the right people, and we were able to get him here. We want to support the local guys, and again, he's a quarterback of the Giants. We're diehard Giants fans. Cedar Grove guy, a couple towns over, and we were excited to have him here.
Danielle, you drove a long way to come to the Hobby Hive tonight, but it was worth it.
Totally worth it. Yep, my son got to meet Tommy Cutlets. Hey, yeah, totally worth it.
Yeah, and big Giants fans, both of you.
Yeah, Giants and Pats, but we love a good hometown story, so we're here supporting Tommy.
All right, I'm here with JoJo and Nikki. You guys came out from Staten Island.
We did. Happy to be at the Hobby Hive to see some cutlets go down, you know what I mean? Long time coming, meeting the cutlet man himself. I didn't bring no cutlets. It was a dire situation, but we're excited to be here.
Love it. Let's go Giants. Can you please bring us a Christmas miracle on Monday?
I'm trying to. Hopefully it snows too.
I know, right? That would be the cherry on top. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, come on, Mike. Let me see. Can you do it?
This. I sometimes it requires two hands because to get this gesture out, it really is deeply passionate.
For sure. But there was one thing missing from this event, and that was me standing there making chicken cutlets. I mean, that really would have sent it home, right?
Right.
Coming up, find out what's going on the community. The New Jersey Morning Show continues after this.
Summers in New Jersey were made to wow you. From sun and wows to fun and wows and every wow in between. So come see what your wow's gonna be. New Jersey. It's one wow after another, after another, after another. You get it. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
The Alzheimer's New Jersey Walk to Fight event took place this weekend. Let's take a look.
I am Lisa Marie Falco. This is my co-host, Liana Falco. Say hi, Liana. No? Okay. It's fine. It's just so wonderful being here with you today, my adopted city. I lived in Jersey City for nearly 4 years, right across the park in Port Liberté, if anybody's from here, and the best years of my life. And I have been working with Alzheimer's New Jersey since 2017 on their video content, but it's flourished into so much more in so many different ways. And I never knew the work, though. You know, you don't really understand it until you live it. Unfortunately, I lost my grandfather to dementia in January. It was a very short stint where he was bad, but Ken and Nancy, they were there in the aftermath, and, you know, class all the way. The support they gave me and my family, unbelievable.
My family also was suffering. We had someone else who was diagnosed. It's great. What you guys have is you already have the information. You know Alzheimer's New Jersey, but my family wasn't so lucky. So thank you so much to Alzheimer's New Jersey for all that you've done to help me heal. Thank you guys for being here. So give yourself a round of applause. You're amazing.
Participants honored family and friends affected by Alzheimer's disease and reminded families across New Jersey that they do not have to face Alzheimer's alone, as efforts in science continue to work towards a cure. Highlights included a dance performance by Nimbus Dance, an energizing warm-up led by fitness specialist Melissa Sullivan, and a stirring rendition of the national anthem by Jersey City singer-songwriter Giselle Bellis. So lots of people there, like the Hudson County Commissioner Chairperson Anthony Romano and Commissioner William O'Day, addressed the crowd, presenting a proclamation that recognized the vital work of Alzheimer's New Jersey. This event was a testament to the power of community and the ongoing fight against Alzheimer's disease. It looked like a great event. It looked like a really nice time. But most importantly, since we've had, Dina, so many weekends in a row of just constant rain and gloom, they at least had some pretty decent weather, it seems. It didn't look like it was raining too hard, just a little bit of cloud cover, so that's nice.
Which is super important. I mean, I did read an article that it's rained in New Jersey every weekend since March, which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, since the eclipse, even before the eclipse, because we had some clouds that weekend. So it's been a very long time. It's been a total of 8 or 9 weekends in a row, depending on your location, because some parts of New Jersey stayed dry while others had rain. But that just, it's been hard to have any sort of outdoor event. Yeah,
for
and we've seen
sure.
so many events either canceled or postponed. There
Yes.
have been events that kind of get rescheduled 2 weeks later, only to be canceled again
I
because of
know, and
that
all
rain
of the
date.
work they put into setting up the guests and the different events
Yeah.
that happen within the event. And this is really a situation that affects so many people. I'm sure we all know someone or have someone even close to us that suffers from Alzheimer's, dementia.
Mhm.
It seems to be something super common. So what they're doing, raising awareness and walking, fighting for a cure to help the cause, I'm glad it didn't rain out on them.
And it's true that, we mentioned how there have been working in made big efforts and big strides in science to work
Mhm.
towards a cure. Even in therapy, in
Yes.
palliative care, there have been so many strides in science just in the last 20 years. So really great to see them doing some great work and
Yeah.
some pretty impressive guests there with the singer-songwriter Giselle Bellis. You had
Yes.
the energizing dance warm-up from Nimbus Dance. So a lot of great events there and a really nice way to spread awareness of all of the strides that the Alzheimer's New Jersey organization is making.
For
Up
sure.
next, we have a local filmmaker showing us their upcoming documentary.
New Jersey, we've got more summer wows under the sun than anyone. So come see what your wow's gonna be in the little state of New Jersey, where it's one wow after another, after another, after another. You get it. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lotta.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Mike Favetta along with Dina Delisa Gonzar. If you're looking for a new documentary to watch, look no further. Local filmmaker Jody Small joins us to talk about her new film, The Storm and the Boats, a story about the pandemic where New Jersey residents share their stories. Jody, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today. I appreciate it.
Of course. So, Jody, tell us a little bit about how you got started in filmmaking and the premise of the film.
Okay, so my background is actually in the news business and also in the museum world. I was really itching because I felt so sidelined during the pandemic, since I'm usually out there gathering people's stories. I've worked at the U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum and the Vietnam Era Educational Center right here in Homedale, New Jersey, where oral histories are a very big part of the audiovisual component of those museums. So I knew the importance of gathering these stories to preserve them for the future. And so I was feeling, very itchy to get going and start filming people's stories. So shortly after getting vaccinated, I set up a makeshift studio in my basement and gathered my videographer and any crew that I could, willing to kind of work for free and help me begin to gather storytellers together to tell what had happened to them during the first year of the pandemic. And without any money, we got right to work on it. And it's been a very exciting journey getting here to my film, The Storm and the Boats. We really just started by gathering the stories, and it's thrilling, really, that we're able to create a film that's just about an hour long, from 20 plus hours of footage from these oral histories from residents around New Jersey. And I have to say, I'm so grateful to the storytellers who were honest and emotional and gave such raw, full accountings of what they had experienced during the pandemic.
Wow, Jody, we'll ask you about some of those individual interviews in just a sec, but what inspired you to make this film? Why did you feel it had to be made and to tell the story of those New Jersey people?
Well, I feel like back in 1918, when we had the Spanish flu, there's very little out there other than some notebooks and diaries from people's writings, rather than any videos that we could have watched or film that we could have watched about people's experiences that I think might have provided some help for us getting through it. So having worked on historical museums, I realized that what was happening was really a global historical event, and that it was very important while people's memories were fresh, that we gather these stories from them to preserve for the future.
That is really an interesting connection to make, that knowing that preserving these stories might help us for something that may happen in the future. So tell us now a little bit about the individual interviews you conducted. Were there any stories that stood out to you in particular?
I have to tell you that every single story stuck out to me. I mean, it was an avalanche of amazing stories. And I really tried to keep my group diverse, both in age and experiences and backgrounds. Some of the stories I can share with you, and I don't want to give too much away, but one gentleman had recently received a bone marrow transplant, and he had been in isolation due to that for 2 years. And literally, the minute he was allowed to come out of isolation, he had to go back in. He said, I was wearing a mask before it was fashionable. I had a police officer from Newark who said, I've been in shootouts, but I've never been as frightened as I was lying in that hospital bed alone, with COVID. And who doesn't remember potentially wiping off the bananas or the Amazon gift boxes or boxes that were delivered to your home, or leaving them in the garage? There's just so many incredible stories. One woman said, I will always remember getting my drive-through double mastectomy during the pandemic because, as you know, they really tried to release people from the hospital as quickly as possible. And then, of course, parents and what they went through. And that really leads me to the whole discussion of anxiety and depression and isolation and the whole mental health aspect here. I interviewed Dr. Brian Strom, who is the chancellor over at Rutgers Medical School. And he said when healthcare workers were going in to the hospital, it was war. They did not know if they were going to die, if they were going to kill their families by going home with the virus. And so he talks a lot about the mental health crisis that we're still facing today. And actually, along with my film, I really have the support from Care Plus New Jersey, which you probably know is a nonprofit mental health organization. And there are still lots of people suffering to this day as a result of the pandemic.
Jody, you mentioned before that you wanted to capture, these interviews and capture kind of of what was happening after the fact, because, like you mentioned, from the previous pandemic over 100 years ago, there really isn't that much documented. So, with that in mind, what else do you hope to achieve with this film and its release?
Okay, so the good news is that after calling around to lots of colleges and universities and other places that have oral history collections, Rutgers University agreed to preserve this collection of interviews of oral histories. So they will be available to researchers, historians, filmmakers. I recall even from the Holocaust Museum checking much smaller archives to see and find stories before we went and filmed people again. So I feel like this is useful for conferences and education and all of that. But I really also do hope to use it to bring the whole mental health aspect of what our world has been through, to let people know that there is help and they can seek it. The storm in the boats, the title basically means there was one storm, but we were all in very different boats. And I have one storyteller who says, this was not a bread baking, Netflix watching pandemic for me. And many parents who talk about trying to get their kids on Zoom and whose work meeting is more important, their spouses or their meeting. And just, of course, also healthcare workers who were faced with so much tragedy and loss. So I really hope this film will be for the record and say that we are documenting this and have some very important interviews from New Jersey.
Jody, thank you so much for bringing all of these perspectives together and for having the heart to preserve this particular moment in time. I'm sure it's a moment that some of us would like to forget. However, it's important that we don't, because there's a lot that we can learn from. Plus, I love how it's shining a light on mental health. So where can we watch and get more information?
So I would say keep your eye on Eventbrite. We are having some showings in communities and around New Jersey. And also, hopefully, you will see The Storm in the Boats in some film festivals in the coming year.
Well, we'll definitely be looking out for that. Jody, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Dina, what an interesting story, considering that we've seen all the documentaries about kind of the front lines and the first responders, but this is kind of the other perspective of how people through these oral histories experienced it and really preserving it for those future generations. So I think that's something that will really be treasured.
I think the title's really
future.
interesting. It's true.
It
It was
is.
a storm, but we were all in different boats. Sure, some groups in similar boats, but like you said, there was a lot of press surrounding what was going on with first responders, but in everybody's individual homes, there were different situations going on. So these stories are definitely worth hearing, and I think we can learn a lot from them.
Yes, that's right. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Mike Favetta, along with Dina Delisa Gonzar. The Senate approved a measure to end the skills test for teachers. Now, this is the basic skills test that teachers had to take. The bill, which cleared in the chamber in a 34-2 vote, allows teaching candidates to receive teaching certificates without passing the basic skills test.
This will now make it easier for prospective educators to enter the teaching world, removing barriers that restrict employment. This bill is also meant to tackle the teacher shortage in the state, making it easier to receive employment.
There are still some testing requirements for prospective educators in certain areas like math and biology. These subjects obviously have a little bit more of a requirement, and the basic skills tests are required for teachers who are looking for certificates, limited certificates of eligibility.
And under the bill, school districts would need to publicize positions to in-state residents for at least 3 months before they look to hire applicants from different states. Wow, this is a surprise to me that all of a sudden, I think of all of my teacher friends out there who struggled through that test a couple of times to become a teacher. So this really changes the game, but I know there is a huge shortage of teachers in the state. You're always seeing in different towns calls for substitutes and this and that and the other things.
Sure.
So hopefully this will help.
And especially along the voting, 34-2, that's a
Yeah.
pretty significant
Yeah.
side. So there must be something behind the reasoning about why this passed quite easily and with a big majority there, almost unanimous, of why these teachers are needed so badly.
Yes. I mean, look, it's not often that we see. So the New Jersey Performing Arts Center continues to impact thousands of local New Jersey kids through jazz. In their 26th year of hosting Jazz for Teens, a year-round educational program for young musicians. Here to talk about it is Director of Jazz Instruction for the ONNJ PAC, Mark Gross. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me this morning, Mike and Dina. Thank you.
So Mark, tell us, what is Jazz for Teens and who is eligible to participate?
Jazz for Teens is a comprehensive jazz program where young artists, as I call them, from the ages of 13 till 18, have opportunity to come to NJPAC and study with a wonderful faculty of jazz artists where they get theory classes, they get history classes, they get technique classes, private lessons, ensembles, visiting master classes. We've had people such as John Faddis, Christian McBride, Stefan Harris. The list goes on, and a bunch of performances as well. So it's a wonderful, comprehensive class that coincides with the school year. So it's in the fall and in the spring, but on Saturdays.
Well, this sounds really exciting. This program is stacked. So what kind of impact does this program have on the students?
It has a great impact because one of the models that we have at NJPAC is that we want to educate the whole student. I was kind of happy to hear about the segment just previously talking about the teachers and what's going on there, because that's such a need, and having a teacher or someone that can really help forward whatever that vision is in a student's life is pivotal. So we look at the whole student. So the impact is not only getting students that will go on to the next level in terms of education, meaning conservatories and universities in music, but some go on to study science and geometry and things of that nature.
Wow.
And in fact, one of our graduates just recently won the Pulitzer Prize, Tyshawn Sori. So the impact is tremendous, tremendous.
Wow.
I was just going to say, you have some pretty famous alumni. So Jazz for
Yes.
Teens has somewhat been a bit of a breeding ground for tomorrow's stars. Have any other alumni of note?
Oh, absolutely. There's more recently, there's one student who has been on Broadway. She's done The Lion King when she was smaller. She lives in LA now. She's kind of recording artist. A lot of students are now my colleagues in terms of working in the professional world. So the 25, 26 years of alumni is pretty amazing. Yeah, we're very proud of them.
You guys have quite the interesting track record. So what is coming up next for Jazz for Teens?
So we just completed the spring share for Jazz for Teens. So we're really going into the summer programs at NJPAC, where we're going to have a lot of different things, one of which I want to mention is the Milt Hinton Institute for Studio Bass, where we're partnering with Peter Dominguez, Montclair. Peter Dominguez comes to us. He started this at Oberlin University, Oberlin College, several years ago, and we're partnering with Montclair State University to have a residency, a one-week residency, July 14th through the 20th, where students will get opportunities again to share with some of the big names of jazz: Ron Carter, Buster Williams, Rufus Reed, of course Peter Dominguez himself, Ben Williams, Jennifer Vincent. So many iconic and wonderful jazz basses there. And then, of course, as I mentioned, all of the musical theater, hip-hop, and things that are going on for the summer.
So Mark, tell me. Oh, go ahead, Dina.
Listen, I was just wondering if there was a way for the public to come and hear what these students are doing. It looks like you have a lot of different events. Are there any opportunities for the general public to come and hear and listen to these wonderful students play?
Absolutely. They can always go to njpac.org/education, and there we have all of our programs and things that are going on related to these things.
Mark, that's really incredible. Tell us, though, I know the program is called Jazz for Teens, but is there a cutoff of a certain age limit where students have to be a certain age to enter, and then before they move on to their, I guess, semi-professional careers?
Sure. It's funny you say that, Mike, because like you said, it is called Jazz for Teens, but we've had students come into the program at 11.
Wow.
And I remember when I was a kid, I used to say 11 teens, so it was kind of like a teen. But what we really look for is a student that exhibits a desire, first and foremost, to want to learn and continue to learn about jazz music. Also, that there is a basic skill there. We're not looking for that Tyshawn Suri, if you will. So we have beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels of classes that will help a student on any level that they want to come to us. But the cutoff is that once they graduate a senior out of high school, that is the cutoff. But again, we have students, alumni, that come back and teach for us. We employ them to help mentor some of the younger students. One of our alums is now one of my teaching artists. So there's always, I say that door to NJ Pack is always open for those students.
Wow, we love those mentoring programs. That's so important. Well, Mark, thank you so much for joining us. njpack.org/arts education to get more information. We appreciate the time, and hopefully we look forward to seeing these your future students do big things as they have been already.
Thank you so much, and we'll make sure to send you both a personal invite on our next concert. Thank you so much.
Looking forward to it.
So exciting to see young talent like that right here in New Jersey.
Yes, and I mean, I love jazz, and so that sounds really exciting. I wish I had that program around when I was younger. Maybe I would have taken my piano a little further.
Yeah, it's true. And that's something that taught me to stick with my piano lessons a little later into my high school years, because the teacher would always say, you're going to be at a bar when you're older, and there's going to be a piano, and you're going to want to impress and play. So now with this Jazz for Kids program, Jazz for Teens, excuse me, enjoying some of that talent now greater into the future. So much of it, we even have a clip for more of a sample of that music. Let's take a listen.
Nothing's impossible, I have found. For when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, dust myself off, start all over again. Don't lose your confidence if you slip. Be grateful for a pleasant trip and pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again. Work like a soul inspired to the battle of the day is won. You may be sick and tired, but you'll be a man, my son. And just you remember the famous men that had to fall to rise again. So pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again. I have found, for when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, dust myself off, start all over again.
Dina, so much talent here in New Jersey. That's great.
I know. I have like the biggest smile from watching that, and how amazing. One goes from singing and this transitions to the drums. Another one comes out. That is cool stuff. Very cool.
Stars on the rise here in New Jersey. Well, we've got more New Jersey Morning Show coming up. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. The New Jersey Morning Show continues after this.
Summers in New Jersey were made to wow you. From sun and wows to fun and wows and every wow in between. So come see what your wow's gonna be. New Jersey. It's one wow after another, after another, after another. You get it. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey. Little state, lot of wow.
Well, watch out, Hollywood, because New Jersey has a brand new pop star on the rise. High school student Aria Madi is making waves with her new music video of her song, Talk About It. Let's take a look.
Talk about it. Tell me what you want to do. Talk about it. Tell me how you want to move. Still stuck in the gray. What you want to say. Talk about it, babe. Talk about it.
Joining us now is Aria Madi. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Aria, that's great to have you here. Tell us, how did you get into music, and tell us about your experience in the industry so far.
Well, I've started singing personally when I was 6, so music has always been in my life and playing different instruments as I grew up. But when I was starting on my music journey, I originally started with like local music producers and musicians, and I'm forever grateful for them because they helped me start on my journey. But when I was working with the real industry people, it's honestly mind blowing. I am so grateful that I've been able to experience and intern with them and really learn from Hollywood producers. And yeah, it's amazing. Just honestly.
Well, it sounds like you've had a great experience thus far. So tell us about this song. What inspired it?
Well, Talk About It is really just about a high school relationship. It's when, a boy likes someone and he's not really being direct. He's giving you hints and you're just like, why don't you just talk about it? Like, why can't you just let me know? So, I mean, that's just really where it is. It's, I think people in my age group could really relate to the song. So, yeah, I mean, that's what Talk About's about.
So we saw a clip of your music video just now. Looks fun. How was your experience filming it?
Well, it was honestly incredible to have the team that I already had. For video production, I had my creative director to be Chris Rouse, who's also an actor. I had an amazing producer, Sam Smoot, and my choreographer, Nia Hutchinson, actually worked with amazing notable artists like Chris Brown, Camila Cabello, Cardi B, and it's incredible that I've been able to have such an amazing filming opportunity with these people and with my backup dancers, my extras, and it's just a really life-changing experience for me.
So you're also an active high school student with a busy schedule. And I'm just wondering, how do you balance school with making music in LA? I'm sure that is no easy task.
Really isn't. When I was starting with, balancing my education with my music career, it was a bit difficult to say. I was like going to California like every 2 weeks, and I was taking red-eye flights just to get to physics class on time.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a bit difficult, but I really go by the saying like, when there's a will, there's a way. And I knew that I always loved music. Music has always been part of my life, and I knew I wanted to do it in the future. So I feel like I had to sacrifice a tiny bit of time to work on some time management, and I'm so thankful that I've been able to, help with like my rigorous like high school courses alongside my passion for music.
Well, it sounds like you've got a great work-school life balance already. So I'm sure there's going to be more music in the future. Where can we hear more of the music that you're producing?
Well, all my socials are under RIAJ Tunes. That's ARIAJAYTUNES. And if you look on, Apple Music, Spotify, all platforms, it's under my name, Aria Modi. And you could also look onto my website, ariamodi.com. So that's ARIAMODY.com.
Aria Modi, singer, songwriter, musician, and producer. Thank you so much for joining us on the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm sure we'll hear a lot more great things from you in the future.
Thank you for having me once again.
Look at that, a little glimpse into the future of what New Jersey talent has to hold. Maybe she's going to be the next great New Jersey artist. And you saw her right here on the New Jersey Morning Show.
Yeah, you saw her here first. I mean, I love her spirit of determination. She definitely has a passion for this, and I can't wait to see her. I don't know, see her on a stage soon? We'll see. Maybe she'll be at MetLife.
I'm sure. Yeah, I think so, especially with that hometown pride
Yes,
that we all
for
love
sure,
here in New Jersey.
for sure.
And she's got some catchy music too, I mean.
She does.
It's
She's
not
got that
necessarily
little
my
spark,
genre,
right?
But I could get down with it, exactly.
Yeah, I'll play it for my 6-year-old, and then let's see if it flies with the first graders. They're tough. They're tough.
They are.
Well, thank you for joining us today on the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Dina Delise. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Dina Delise-Gonzer in for Cara Falco.
And I'm Mike Favetta. You can catch replays of the New Jersey Morning Show at our website, ONNJ.com, or streaming on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.